Time to fly, time to fly. Never give up, we won't retreat. The ones who stand after.
Hello friends, and welcome again to another Street Fighter Duel video.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to another Street Fighter Duel video. And in this video, it's finally confirmed that we have Luke coming with Street Fighter 6 collaboration to us, and it's using the regular tickets. Now, I did some research and I talked with some people, and especially close to the people that will tell us more about this collaboration. Apparently, this collaboration will use the same tickets that we use always to summon, and we're gonna get them. So we have the chance to decide if we wanna summon for this character or not and save our tickets for different characters. So it means if Luke is good or not good. This is very good actually. It's, for me, it's better than the DMC ones that you wanna convert your tickets just to use them for the DMC and then transfer them into diamonds or keep them the same. So you can use these tickets. If you don't feel that this character will be helpful for your lineup or you don't need him, you can save the tickets and summon for somebody else like Overlord Bison or the normal Visconde Vega. So I think Luke will be awesome, and there was like speculations, people telling me that he will be a fire character, but sadly it's not the case. We're gonna have him as either thunder or wind or maybe something like master or inferno, definitely not fire. So far what they told me is because they released Banquet Cammy as fire faction, they're gonna release Luke as a different faction. Hopefully he will be different faction. If he's fire, then it's okay. Like, it's not sad, it's not a bad idea. So that's all for Luke, and yeah, there will be another Street Fighter 6 characters. That's what I got. There will be different characters from Street Fighter 6. I hope that they will release different characters. I hope that they will give us a new character that is not available in the game, not another variation of Jury or Cammy or anything. Like JB would be awesome. Now for the effigy clash, we have this boss again. Now he's one of the most annoying bosses because he hinder you. It means you stand in your place, you don't deal damage, you can't reach the boss, and he freezes you, and every time you hit him, you freeze yourself. But there's something that you can do, and we always do. As you see on the battle zone, so far nobody attacked from the high whales. I mean, one or two maybe hit, and they because they can't use Flame Chun will always freeze, and your lineup will freeze if you use her. So on your best lineup, which is the lineup of let me check this, of Fire Adon, you need to use Zangief. Zangief with his 6 out of 6, as always, we talked about it, he will negate the passives of the boss. So the passive is whenever you hit him, you're gonna get a stack of gold. That's not the case. Because we negate his passive, you're not gonna gain the stack of gold, so you can go back to back, hit him with Fire Adon and deal damages to him, and it will be awesome for you to capitalize on that. And this is what happened actually with this lineup. So our rotation is, and I'm using the Cammy and Vega EX, so it will give me a normal rotation at the start. You don't need Summer Elena to dispel. Summer Elena is a major, massive component here because she dispelled the freeze, not the cold. So if you have cold stacks on yourself, she will not remove them, but when you get frozen, she can go and unfreeze you. So this is the good thing about her, because she removes one debuff, and stuns or freeze or anything like that is called a debuff. So that will help you a lot. So this is why we're using everything as possible to go and attack. Now on the second lineup, I'm using Summer Elena. Yes, Summer Elena will help me here a lot. Now Virgil EX, you don't need it on a lineup, especially like this lineup. If you're using this lineup sometimes give me good results, sometimes not. I'm using Akuma. Now you can use Dalsim, but because the burn, every tick of burn that is inflicted by Dalsim will count as an attack, and it will give you a stack of gold on Dalsim, then he will get frozen. So he will not work that efficiently. Even if you have him at max, he will not give you the damages, and by the end, the more that you have freeze and he hits you with the hinder, with the spear, he can kill you at the end of the battle. So what I do is I start with Akuma. Psycho Dan is absolutely fantastic because he gives you the defensive debuff buffs and the offensive buffs. And then I go with Akuma again. If he was frozen from the start, Summer Elena, when she drops, she unfreeze him, so he can do his C2 and the C3 with Viper. And if something goes bad in your rotation, you can use the C2 of Viper, or you can use her C3, or you can use her Super. It depends on you. So keep that in mind. You want to start with Akuma, do the C1 of Sarkodan, do the C2 of Akuma, then the C3 of Viper. As you see, I'm not using the best supports as an assist characters, but you can do that. So if I want to recommend anything, I would use Yun and Yang, like let's say this here, And where is Yang? Yang here. Let me put him on Akuma because Viper will not die because Psychodan will protect us. So every time she procs, every 12 seconds when she triggers, he's gonna drop and give you combo meter. Every time he crits, she's gonna drop and give you combo meter. Now on my third lineup, is the Visconti Vega. Now you can use Overlord Bison. Overlord Bison works well here. And he doesn't die just like Bison because it bypasses immunities, because he can drop below 1 HP, which is absolutely fantastic. I would highly recommend using him instead of Visconti Vega. Yet Visconti Vega does good amount of damage. Plus, if you're using Jury on him, it will keep him alive because of the life seal, the extra life seal that he gets. So I'm using healers and healers. You can use Athlete Chun-Li to buff the damages if you have normal Bison or Overlord Bison. So Overlord Bison will start. Now I'm using Eva Ryu. Eva Ryu with Satsui no Iki will gain some defensive stacks, and he will hit the boss and reduce his combo meter if he does not get frozen. It didn't happen to me. It happened once in one rotation with the previous lineup or with the previous runs that I did, but on my final lineup it didn't happen, sadly. You can use Gormagala Ken. I would use him. I would try to use him actually because he will reduce the attack of the boss, which will help me a little bit survive on Visconti Vega. So I'll try this next. I just did 3 tries and it gave me that. Now on this lineup, now you don't need to use Gormagala Ken here. I'm using him. As you see, my Bison is benched. I can use Bison as an assist, or I can use Balrog as an assist because he will give me the defensive buffs on my action guy. Now this is the second best lineup for me, and as you see, yes, it's the second best lineup, and I have only SS on Leonardo on SS plus 30, 0 cars, and it's the second best lineup, and it giving me almost more than half of the damage that I'm doing with the Fire Aidon team. This is how good this lineup is. Now I'm using the Summer Elena EX move, the Summer Waves. Why? Because it dispels also you when you're frozen. You can hit it, you get unfrozen, you continue your rotation. So what I do, I start with Leonardo, C1 from Donatello, back to back, all of that, and I use the C2 of Action Guy, then the C3 of Leonardo. Now when I feel like the combo chain will get interrupted, I drop the EX move of Summer Elena, and I unfreeze myself with any character. It doesn't matter if Raphael is frozen, it doesn't matter really. We only need him for the stacks that he gives us, and that's all. And this lineup is working perfectly and very fine, so you can go and try it. Now if you're feeling that your combo is being interrupted a lot, you can drop him and add Michelangelo, sorry. You can add Michelangelo instead of him. And Michelangelo, if you can't use the C2 of Guy, if you can't use the C2 of Leonardo because both are frozen and your timer is gonna go back, like the circle is ending and you can't do anything, you can use his C2 and continue with the C3 of somebody else. So let me show you the lineups. Oh, what did we hit? So let me show you the results and what we did. So this is the results. I hit almost 5 billion with the Fire Aidon team, and it was 0 interruption. I'll be showing you that. Now my Viper and my Akuma team did 1 billion. It usually does 1.5, but this was the worst run for them on this lineup. My Visconti Vega, the best thing that I got with him was the 1.6, and now I got to 1.3, but this lineup popped off to 2.6. The regular that I'm getting with this lineup is 1.9 to 2.0, but 2.6 was absolutely amazing. I timed it perfectly, especially when I used the Summer Elena AX move. So let's go and check the first lineup and how we did that. I'll be doing X4 just to show you when I started, and of course I used the Kami and Vega EX move when I have it, just to start the combo immediately. And you'll see that I didn't get frozen. I got lucky a little bit, maybe. You can get lucky, go back to back in the hopes that you will never get frozen, and that could work for you. So here we go, I'll do it at X1, and here is the point where I start my rotation, because I'm waiting for him to drop the spear. When he drops the spear, he will hinder you, so you will stand in your place. So now Zangief is below him, and my Fire Aidon is below him, so if they got hindered below him, they can still reach him and attack him. This is why I do it this way. And as you see, I drop back to back, and here I saw that only my Rich Honda got frozen, so I can continue my lineup, and he got unfrozen because the duration went off, and then I can attack normally. And now he's gonna freeze again, and nobody got frozen. I was so lucky. I continued my rotation normally, and I hit the EX move of the Raging Breath, so it gave me more crit rate and more crit damage, and I continued back to back, and as you see, the damages went off, and I popped off, and the spear couldn't deal damage to me because it's how much stacks you have, the spear does damage to you, but because we negate his passive, so it doesn't work. So whatever the spears should do damage, he will do only the minimum amount of damage, and this is how we got this score. Now, the second lineup, and it's the Akuma and Viper lineup. Now, I'm gonna play it at -4 because it was ridiculously bad. It wasn't one of my best runs, but I will show you again how it went and how many times we got frozen. And I used the C2 of Viper because I couldn't use the C2 of Akuma, so I missed a C3 from Viper. And this C3 could give me 100 million, maybe 200 million more damage, but we couldn't. So keep yourself in check with this. So here, Akuma got frozen, I used the C1, and then the C2 of Akuma, then the C3 of Viper. Why he got unfrozen? Because we have Summer Elena. Now when he does this ultimate, this boss, this way, he will freeze you, and if he freezes you, you can't do anything about it. As you see, everybody frozen. I can't do anything about it because I can't start with anybody. C1, C2, and C3, everybody is frozen. I used the AX of Virgil, and it didn't help actually, but it dealt a little bit of damage because it deals damage by the end to the boss, even if you didn't use it to its full potential. My third lineup, and sadly my Visconti Vega died, so if he didn't die, it would be absolutely awesome. Many times I missed his C3 and I missed his super because he got frozen. So I clicked the super, before it went off, he got frozen, so it was bad. But with RNG, I mean, you need RNG on 4 lineups, and if you can do that, you will get a good score. So Visconti Vega, then Elena, and you see I couldn't use his C3, and then I used his super and he got frozen. This is how bad this one was, and still he deals good amount of damage, high numbers, because it's Visconti Vega, and Visconti Vega deals a lot of damage. We got frozen, I used the heal so nobody could go below HP and die because of the spear next, and I continued my rotation back to back, and he died. And after he died, we couldn't do anything, and that was the lineup and the rotation from him. I'm absolutely sad because if he did 2 billion damage, I would be hopping another billion damage to my score, which is really good. I'm gonna try it either way later. And as you see, these are the EX moves showed that I'm using. Here I'm using the TMNT EX move just above them with some stacks when they go low on stacks, because every time the boss tried to kill them, they remove stacks from themselves, the breakdance I think, and they keep surviving. So I want them to have more stacks so they can keep surviving more and more. Let's check the replay, and I'm using the Summer Elena EX move so I can unstuck them when they get stuck with the frozen status. So here we go. This is the spear, the hinder. So sometimes it hinder you. There's a chance for not to hinder you. And when you get hindered, you're stuck in your place. So if you do an attack, you will attack the wind. You're not gonna attack anybody. So here we go. And we're gonna start by now. So I start with Leonardo. And he got frozen. So I slowly used the C1 of my Donatello, the C2 of Action Guy, and then the C3 of Leonardo. I used Leonardo immediately with Donatello, then Guy, then Leonardo. Why? Because hinder, I want them to get hindered. You see, they hindered below him and still we hit the air, we couldn't hit anybody. But for our luck, I used the C1, then the C2, then the C3, and I got frozen and the frozen went off actually before everything happened. 1.8 billion so far and 1.9 billion, and in the end I just want to hit one hit. So I'm waiting for him to drop the spear. If he drops the spear, I'm gonna drop everything that I have. So Leonardo, Donatello, I dropped everything and bam, he killed everyone anyway. But I got the breakdance stacks and I got the sword intent stacks, and it gave me a little bit of damage, and these are the scores that we got. So far I'm doing well. This is good actually. On the leaderboard, if we check 10 billion damage, I can go to 11, I can go to 12, I think I can go to 13 billion if I get good RNG on my teams. Islam Santos, I think he's using Overlord Bison. Yeah, he's using Overlord Bison here, and he did 1 billion damage with Overlord Bison. This is the lineup he's using. I'm showing you that just for you. Same lineup he's using with Leonardo, but Leonardo one copy and he's still doing 1.3 billion damage. Imagine he has him maxed or at my state, he will do the same damages. This is why Leonardo is so important. Build him. If you have Starlights and you still didn't build him, at least get him to SS. You see, at SS, I'm doing incredible amount of damage, putting me on the top 3 on the leaderboard. So you can do that if you get him to SS. Don't sleep on him. He's a massive unit. And again, he's using Akuma here, 1.3 billion damage with Chun-Li, but Chun-Li hits 10 times. This is why I'm scared from her. If I use her, I'm gonna get frozen a lot. So I'm using Viper. Viper will add damage actually. So it will be good because combo meter is not an issue. The problem is getting frozen. And here he's using using Zangief. Of course, every top player from my previous videos that watched my videos know how Zangief with 6 out of 6 is absolutely fantastic. He's using Summer Elena EX move on this lineup because he want to make sure that the best lineup does not get interrupted. But if you can play around it, you don't need Summer Elena EX move. Islam, if you're watching this, don't use the EX move Summer Elena on this lineup. It's RNG. Hit it with RNG. If you pass it and get a good score, use it on another lineup to boost and max your score more and more. You can be the top one. I bet you can be the top one. And yeah, that was it for the video. Let me know about your runs, and if you did use different teams, if you use T-Hawk to dispel, if you're using Diviner Rose have a 30% chance to dispel. If she's working for you, let us know so I can share it with everybody else. And yeah, that was it for the video.
If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you didn't, we thank you for watching. And as always, stay frosty. Peace.
Time to fight, time to fight.